If this message reaches you, it is meant for you. For anyone seeking inner peace today, you are not the mind. Listen. There are moments in life when everything feels heavier than usual. Moments when the pressure around your heart is so intense you wonder how you even still standing. Moments when your strength isn't enough, your logic isn't enough, and your hope feels like it's slipping away. And it's in these vulnerable, quiet places of the soul, the places nobody sees, that God leans closer. This message is for the person who is tired, overwhelmed, and secretly asking, God, is my situation too hard for you? Today, I want you to breathe, calm your thoughts, and lean into this word. Because if it has reached you, God is trying to speak to you. Let's begin with a truth that shakes every lie the enemy has tried to whisper into your mind. God specializes in impossible situations. When doctors say there is nothing left to do, God says, I am the healer. When your bank balance laughs at your dreams, God says, watch me provide. When relationships seem shattered beyond repair, God says, I restore the broken. When life places you in a hallway with no open doors, God says, I am the door. Every miracle you ever heard of began the same way. Someone stood in front of an impossible situation, and today, someone listening is standing in front of theirs. In Genesis 18:14, God asks a question that has echoed through thousands of years. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Abraham was nearly 100. Sarah was 90. Their bodies were far beyond human capability. Every medical law, every biological reality, every piece of logic said, this is impossible. And when Sarah heard God promise a child, she laughed. Not a laugh of excitement, but a laugh soaked in disbelief. A laugh we've all felt in our hearts at some point. Because whether we admit it or not, we've all looked at certain situations and thought, Lord, I know you're powerful, but this feels too big. And yet, instead of rebuking her or walking away, God simply responded by asking, is anything too hard for me? He wasn't asking for information. He wasn't checking his own strength. He was reminding her of his identity. The God who creates galaxies with a breath, who forms worlds from nothing, who raises the dead with a whisper, who speaks and reality bends. And just as he said, within a year, Sarah held Isaac in her arms. The impossible became undeniable. The unbelievable became unshakable. Let me give you a real story, a story from America that still brings people to tears. A young mother in Texas named Stephanie was diagnosed with aggressive lymphoma. Doctors gave her 6 months and advised her husband to prepare for the worst. Every night he cried silently so the kids wouldn't hear him. They recorded letters. They prepared goodbye videos. Fear flooded every part of their lives. One night, in unbearable pain, Stephanie whispered a simple prayer. God, if you're really here, please show me that nothing is too hard for you. The next morning, doctors came in confused. Tumors that were labeled aggressive, incurable, and unmovable were shrinking, not slowly, not stabilizing, shrinking. Within months, every trace of cancer was gone. Doctors called it an anomaly. But Stephanie called it exactly what it was, a miracle, a divine interruption, an undeniable reminder that when God steps into a situation, nothing remains impossible. Your own situation, whatever it is not a dead end. It's a doorway. God doesn't need ideal conditions. He makes them. God doesn't need an open path. He creates one. God doesn't need your strength. He offers his. Your impossible situation is not God's challenge. It is his platform. Another true story. A man named Daniel lost everything during the 2008 recession. His business collapsed. His home was gone. His bank accounts were empty. He sat one Sunday in the back of a tiny church in Ohio, defeated. The pastor said one sentence that changed him forever. God can resurrect what you think is dead. That night, Daniel broke down, not in hopelessness, but in surrender. Months later, a friend offered him a small partnership opportunity. That small step became a multi-million-dollar company that now builds homes for struggling families. Whenever he tells the story, he always says, "I didn't rise. God lifted me." That's who God is. The one who lifts the fallen, restores what was stolen, and rebuilds what was destroyed. Your weakness is not a limitation to him. Your struggle is not a barrier. Your lack is not an obstacle. God uses your weakness as the canvas for his strength. When your ability ends, his begins. When your plan collapses, his unfolds. And please hear this. God didn't abandon Sarah when she doubted. He didn't punish her for laughing. He didn't cancel the promise because her faith wavered. Instead, he fulfilled it anyway, proving that God is more faithful than we are fearful. Your doubt didn't disqualify you. Your fear didn't cancel the promise. Your mistakes didn't push God away. If God was faithful to Sarah, he will be faithful to you. Let me share another story, this one from Chicago. A single mother prayed for her son for 11 years. He was addicted to drugs, in and out of jail, lost in darkness. Neighbors told her to give up. Family said he would never change. But every night she knelt beside her bed and prayed, "God, bring my son home." One night, he overdosed. Doctors said he shouldn't have survived, but he did. And as he lay in the hospital, he said he felt a voice whisper inside him, "This is not who you are." From that moment, he walked away from addiction. Today he's a pastor, a husband, a father. And whenever people ask him what saved him, he says, "My mother's prayers outlasted my rebellion. Nothing is too hard for the Lord. Remember this. God has an appointed time for your breakthrough." He told Sarah, "I will return to you at the appointed time," meaning your blessings have a schedule. Your miracle has a date. Your breakthrough has an appointment. God never shows up late, and he never forgets his promises. If he spoke it, he'll fulfill it. If he promised it, he'll perform it. Your appointed time is coming. Your story is not over. Your miracle is already moving toward you. And now that your heart is open, let's prepare to pray. Let's bring every impossible situation before the God who knows no limits, no boundaries, no restrictions. The God who makes a way where there is none. The God who says, "Is anything too hard for me?"